Hey, my name's Eamon, and I'm going to try and explain the actual process of going to row at the Olympics, like what the actual steps are. I've had a lot of questions about this, and it can be kind of confusing for people, especially some people that are actually in the process, my friend Chad. And I want to try and simplify it. First, I'll give a bunch of basic information about the different boat classes and everything in the Olympics. And then I'll go through the actual US process, one that I actually know. It may be different for other countries, but some of them are the same. All the exact numbers are for the Tokyo 2021 Olympics. And if you're watching this in the future for a different Olympiad, the numbers will be slightly different, especially when they kick out the lightweights, unfortunately. The processes should be relatively similar. There's 7 different Olympic events, men's and women's boat classes. For sculling, you have the single, double, lightweight double, and the quad. And for sweeping, you have the pair, the 4, and the coxswain. So for each country, there's a maximum total number of spots of 46 rowers and 2 coxswains, because coxswains can be any gender now, which is cool. There are a series of events that are contested at the World Championships that aren't Olympic events, mostly the lightweights, so that's the light single, the light pair, and the lightweight quad. Qualifying for the Olympics actually happens at the previous World Championships. So in each Olympic boat class, there are a certain number of qualifying spots. The International Olympic Committee and FISA work together to set an exact number of boats for each event. The single had the top 9, pair had the top 11, double has the top 11, the lightweight double has the top 7, the straight 4 has the top 8, quad has the top 8, and the 8 has the top 5. Now, those totals in the brackets, those have extra spots because there are continental qualifiers to allow a wider berth of countries to participate in the Olympic Games. And most of those come from the single and the lightweight pair, lightweight double. But for the other events, that's where the final qualification regatta comes in. In the final year of each Olympiad, there is a final Olympic qualification regatta, also known as the last chance regatta. In this regatta, there are always 2 remaining spots that any team that has qualified for their country and goes can win and go to the Olympics. So if you place top 2 in the final qualification regatta, you have earned a spot in the Olympics. One of the interesting stipulations is that if your boat wins or gets second, that lineup is set. Country cannot swap out athletes. The same is not true for the World Championships the year before. That is just qualifying the boat for the country. In the US, we have 2 different systems of selecting boats. You have camp boats and trials boats. The camp boats are the men's and women's 4 and 8, and the women's quad, and then the trials boats is all the other events where you have to win a race in order to represent the US. In order to be a part of the camp system, you need to be invited. So athletes will send in their ERG scores and rowing results, and then they'll be invited into the system to be trained up and raced against each other and figure out who's the fastest of the group. Coaches like Mike Tatey will select their boats and send them over to represent the US. For trials, you just have to be the fastest of anyone who shows up. Anyone can enter and anyone can race, and the fastest boat that wins trials will be able to represent the US. So that could mean you have only rowed for a week, or that could mean you've been rowing for 30 years and you just happened to peak at that time. At the 2019 World Championships, the women qualified their single, double, quad, their pair, their 4, and their 8. The men qualified the 4 and the 8. For the Paralympics, the US has qualified the PR1 men's and women's single, the PR2 mixed double, and the PR3 mixed 4. The US has currently not qualified the men's and women's lightweight doubles, the men's single, the men's double, and the men's quad. So in this video post, today is actually the first round of trials for the US Olympic team. And finally, if you go through that entire process, go to the final qualification regatta, place top 2 in your event, you get to go to the Olympics. And the Olympics are like a normal regatta, heats, reps, semis, and you get to the A final of the Olympics, and then you place top 3, you get an Olympic medal. That is all that taken into account. You have gone through time and time again of proving in your country, in your continent, that you deserve to be the Olympics, and then you beat everyone else who is also at the top of their game. That's why the Olympic regatta is the pinnacle of rowing. I hope that was helpful for you and contextualizes just what these athletes are going through in order to reach the absolute top of our sport. If you have any questions, just leave them down in the comments. Other people, as well as myself, will answer them and try and demystify what it takes to actually go to the Olympics, especially if it's in the US. I'm not sure what exactly it is for other countries, but I know the US fairly well. Hi. Whoa. Come on.